Mrs. Happy Hendricks is getting a date night. We're not going to go beat on the truck and break body parts and get it stuck. We're going to have a date night.
Wine and appetizers in Palmer.
Yay. All right, so everybody's inside in the museum, winding it up. And what am I doing? I'm out here looking at the old trucks. My wife wanted to have a nice night out, and I'm out here looking at the old trucks. So let's go inside. We are here. It's a video. Alright, so we weren't going to do anything this weekend, right? We were just going to hang out. We did the wine walk with Teresa and some friends on Friday. And we were just going to do some stuff around the house, but then something happened and, well, here we are. The hood's open on the Power Wagon, and we've got They Live playing on the TV. No sound, copyright. But if we come over here and I get the angles just right, we have a small bumper to install. Now, mind you, Lee is part gorilla and he looks like a small child behind that bumper, and that's because it's ridiculous and I may have overshot, but you know, we tended to go a little overboard on Happy Hendricks. So despite promising that we were going to do some stuff around the house this weekend, that stuff is going to be putting a big old bumper on the Power Wagon. So here we go. Alright, so I know I gripe about this quite a bit, and it is a gripe because nobody does anything old school anymore, and I feel like that sucks. And so we're doing the Road Armor bumper, and real instructions. It's not a QR code. I don't have to look at some stupid little thing on my phone and zoom in and out. They sent real instructions. Good job, Road Armor. I appreciate that. Alright, so we got the CJ Road skid plate off here. We're going to give that to Lee because he came out here and helped. We're actually going to hook him up with the LED fog lights from the bumper too. Got to where we needed to get the fair lead off so we could get the bumper off, and not a common size in your Allens. You're going to need a 12 millimeter. So if you're putting the Road Armor bumper on a Power Wagon, you need to remove the hook. You need to feed the winch line back through. You need to remove the fair lead. You need to undo the winch connection. And then you need to remove the winch from the winch mount before you remove the bumper, because the winch mount is the nuts portion of the bolted section of the front bumper. So if you remove the bolts that hold the front bumper on the Power Wagon, your winch is just going to drop out. So make sure you take all that stuff off before you try and pull the bumper off. And that's probably for everything, not just Road Armor. Alright. Crawled around, rolled around all underneath this thing. We think it's unbolted, so we're going to try and yank it off. Grab on. Start yanking. Alright. It's not budging at all. Gotta be hooked somewhere else. Alright, let me get back under there. Round 2. The Power Wagon winch mount does this weird like thing. You gotta unbolt everything and then lift the side brackets out. I think it's gonna pull out now, so fingers crossed. And if you have the engine block heater, they run it on the bumper separate of the plug. So be careful to disconnect that before you go try yanking this thing off. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Stand by. Everything's unbolted. I think it might be stuck on there. It did take a good hit. I'm bleeding. I'm not sweating yet, and I'm not crying on the outside. Attempt number 3. It's a piece of plastic. The lights are hooked. Oh, this bracket that I put back on is in the wrong spot. You know the bracket that's supposed to stay with it? Mm-hmm. You got one over there, or you clear? All right, it's off. Now I'm going to show you the problem here. It says in the directions what you're supposed to do here is take these 3 bolts out. Which we did. No problem, right? I don't know why, and maybe this is a Power Wagon thing, and it's not the same on all 2500s. But right here, the bracket's welded to the frame. On both sides, it's the same. So I don't know. It doesn't say nothing about cutting welds or anything. Of course we're going to, but the Power Wagon, the bumper brackets are welded to the frame. Alright, so the Power Wagon comes with the Warren Xeon 12K. Problem is, the way it's mounted, it has this really long disengage and engage arm for the spool. It doesn't work with the new bumper, so we have cut a huge chunk of it out, and now we're going to weld it together. So it's a little bit bigger than a normal one, but it's definitely, I mean, it should be about here, but it's definitely shorter than it was before, and it should be strong enough. I know it's a cast part, but we'll put the weld in and it'll be good. Alright, so we got her cut up, we got her welded, and it was, the cast is a nightmare. It is not perfect. Some porosity, but it's solid, so whatever, it doesn't matter. It's gonna do its job. It's shorter, it's crooked. It's happy Hendricks. Here is where we are currently to the Power Wagon. So we got the bumper all removed, frames all prepped, everything's taken care of. We got the grill off, we got the grill surround fixed, so we're going to put that back on. You'll see that here in just a few minutes. Humpty Dumpty could be put back together again. But they're all put together, all in all. Considering what happened. Alright, so it's day 2 of we're going to work on the truck. And we got some new toys in, so let's do a quick, what do we have for cameras? How do we film? Segment. So we have the DJI gimbal here, and it's tracking me along. This is, we use this for a lot of montages on vehicles and stuff to get those nice
with pans. We just got
the new Creator Edition GoPro, so we're pretty happy about that. We'll see how that does for us and if it improves our filming. We got the good old trusty Hero 7. As you can see here, we have
the trusty Note 23 with our ghetto boom mic and our fancy light. Blind you out real quick, but this is what we film with. It's nothing fancy, and then we use Premiere Pro to do our editing, but this guy is new and this mic is new, so hopefully we get a little bit better quality for you. Trying to make sure that what we give you is good stuff.
Alright, so we got all of our lights in, the cubes, we've got our larger lights on. We're not going to put one in the middle because I'm concerned about the camera. We'll see how the camera lines up. So now we've got the winch in, and we need to get control box mounted back on the winch, but we have to do that while it's in the truck, which is awesome because we have to put screws in through the underside. So that's going to be a riot, but we got everything in here. It weighs a lot more than we were expecting, so we're going to have to call in some assistance to get this thing on. It's just, there's no other way we're going to do it. It's massive. It's ridiculous. I love it, but we're going to need some help. So we're going to call in some help, and we're going to get the rest of the truck ready so when people show up, we can do this thing. All right. Hi, folks. So in the process of taking off the factory bumper and all these shrouds and stuff, we broke the fan shroud, and so I'm showing you how to properly stitch your garbage plastics back together. So what you want to do is get the piece in place first and then mark it. So I marked everywhere I wanted to drill, and I relieved all the points by drilling them out, so there's no pressure points in the cracks, so they won't go any further. And then I marked everything, and then you leave your zip ties loose so you can stitch everything together like that. But once you get it stitched together like that, you can get it in place, and I'm not going to be able to do this at the same time as I'm filming. But you got to get all the little pieces and all the little broken spots nice and tight. And then you zip tie it in, and it'll look like new. So it'll look like new here in a second. Stand by. And just like that, we are stitched back together, as you can see. And you can see a little bit better. Get rid of that light. You can see it's a real clean stitch job. And that ain't going anywhere. All right, we've been in here all morning tinkering with stuff and just trying to get things ready. Gonna have some people come over and help us get this bumper on because we started lifting it and dang. But then we started looking at it and dang. So here you go. Oh. I got the wires hanging out to the front of everything because it'll make it easier to install. I don't want to pinch any wires, but we put nice connections on everything. I didn't do any loom covering, just made sure everything was watertight because this is all behind the bumper, but did real nice stuff on the stuff that's going to be exposed. And we checked out the drum lock, and it's going to clear easily. Then I was trying to decide if we wanted to put the fancy road armor stainless steel stuff on there, like on my fingerprints. That's right. Dirty hands, clean money. Yeah, we're just waiting for 3 more people to show up so we can try and put this thing on. Because, you know, me and Lee can lift it. But I'd like to use my back tomorrow. So, rather than, you know, ending up damaging the front of the truck, which we just got back together, we're going to wait for the gang. All right. It took some redneck ingenuity, but I am an ingenious redneck. And we managed to muscle this thing, this pig of a bumper up here. It's only got 2 bolts in it right now. It's hanging on for dear life, considering how much it weighs. All right, we got the bumper on, and it doesn't disappoint. I need to get the lights hooked up still. There's still a lot to do, but it's in place. It's mounted. The lights are mounted. I need to get a 3rd light for the middle, I decided. But all right, here it is. It doesn't disappoint. Definitely have a lot more clearance to the front tires. I think maybe it hangs down a little bit more in the middle, but it's more important to have that clearance towards the tires, and no more beating the grill. This should definitely provide a little bit more protection. I think it's gonna work. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Yeah, that's an outhouse in my front yard. We got construction going on. Lee, what do you think? We putting one on your truck?
Maybe not as big, but eventually.
It is 100% ridiculous, and I love it.